XRP tomorrow will be huge. Please read the disclaimer. Hello, beautiful people. Shalom, moneymakers. I started laughing. I said I'm going to leave it in. How you doing today? We're going to talk about why the crypto market is in for a big day tomorrow, why it could potentially be huge. We'll see if the price action will follow. Right now, XRP is sitting at $1.53. Bitcoin is sitting at 74,365, Ethereum at 2,300. After yesterday, where we had very nice movements for the crypto market, this morning, it's pulled back a little bit from the highs we saw yesterday. We did see the most or the bad grammar there. We just saw the highest fear and greed index value that we've ever seen in the past 3 weeks, in the last few months, at 23 there. So we have broken out of that very long period of time where the crypto fear and greed index was at a very low level. We're now at 28. It makes sense when you have assets hitting their highest level in a while that the fear will subside. This is just how it is. The prices continue to be low, fear is high. The prices break out a little bit suddenly. There's a little bit more optimism. People are feeling a little bit better. People are feeling a little bit more warm to the crypto market. We haven't really seen people kind of jump back in YouTube wise. I didn't see a spike yesterday significantly in views, a little bit, but not double or something like that we have seen in the past. I think we'd need to see XRP break out to maybe even the 226 area for people to actually really start getting interested again, and then potentially we could see interest double, triple even, and then it will be interesting to see what the price action does from there. You know me, I don't like to jump before the race starts. I have this open for you just because. Listen. 6 years ago today, we had the third worst day in S&P 500 history. I remember when this was going down, when this was happening, things were collapsing, things were going down, and it looked like it was the end of everything, right? But then what happened? People that bought at these levels made a huge amount of money, right? And history tells us that people that when there's a crisis, when it looks like it's the end of everything and it's the worst thing ever, and we're at the bottoms, those are the people that usually, not every single time, they make bank, okay? So I like to remember because, I remember that before March, at that end of the year, I was feeling really, really bullish about the markets. And I was, riding high. And then the pandemic happened and things collapsed. But then they jumped back up. And I remember sitting at work and there was a guy there because people knew me as I was interested in the markets. And he said, aren't you afraid? Aren't you, concerned that it's dipped down so much? I said, from my experience, it's going to dip down and it's going to jump back very fast. And that's exactly what happened. So again, I don't know what's going to eventually happen with the crypto market, but I think we are getting close to maybe breaking out here. We still have to, I want us to see us at least get over the $2 level before I, start dancing, right? Do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight, right? Before we do that, because we've been here before, we've seen these kind of fake breakouts, and then the crypto market pulls back. And tomorrow we have huge things coming that could affect the price of XRP going forward. Now, XRP did, you could say that it did close on the 4-hour chart over my trend line. So I have the trend line here, but immediately it pulled back in. I wanted to see continuation. That didn't happen. On the daily chart and the daily candles, it did not close above. It closed exactly under, right? So that was yesterday and this is today. So I want to see if XRP can close today over the trend line. And then I'll be a little bit more confident on the price action right now, because as you can see, there's a little bit of a pullback after yesterday. We saw very nice movements, right? Today we're seeing a little bit of a halt, a little bit of a pullback, nothing too wild. But going into tomorrow, there's a lot of potential profit taking here before tomorrow, right? And we'll get to tomorrow in just a second. I just want to remind you that this video is for educational purposes, for entertainment purposes only, not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you decide to invest. I don't know what the market's going to do day to day. Also, reminder that I will never contact you on social media asking you to sign up to anything, to send me anything. Those are scammers, those are imposters. I will never DM you first. Please be careful out there. Don't click on any links. Please be careful from sources that you don't know what's going on. The links in the description down below, by the way, are okay. They're legit. I put them there. But if you have a friend that sends you a DM suddenly out of the blue asking you to vote for them on on something, and you're like, well, why are they asking me this? It's probably a scam. So just be very careful out there. Okay. So if we go back to the price action tomorrow, we have a few things that are happening. So first of all, the biggest thing is the Fed meeting that's happening, and also there's core PPI in the morning. So it's going to be very interesting. Morning, the PPI, and then in the afternoon, 2 p.m., we get the Fed rate decision. Now, right now, it says in the probability sites, right, 99.9%. Now, I've been covering the Fed meetings for the larger part of 5 years, I think. In the beginning, maybe when I started YouTube, I wasn't, but since about 5 years, right? Since 2021. And the predictions are usually on point, especially when they're this high, right? I don't remember in the past 2-3 years when it was off. So he's going to keep them where they are, right? 99.9% probability. And so that's not going to be where we're looking. What we're going to be looking at is what is he going to be saying while his speech is going on, and what does he predict into the next meeting, and then to July, into August, right? What does he think is going to potentially happen with the current situation in the Hormuz Strait and with oil? And Ray Dalio is saying here, Hormuz could decide the winner. Ray Dalio argues the real test with the Iran conflict is who controls the Strait of Hormuz. If Iran can disrupt oil flows through the choke point, it could undermine confidence in U.S. leadership and financial assets. If trade flows remain open, it will signal U.S. strength and reinforce confidence in the U.S. markets. And we're looking at potentially what can happen here. So far, it's holding under 100. It's early in the morning still. Even pre-market hasn't opened up. In 5 minutes, it opens up, 4 minutes. Maybe by the time we finish the video, we can check that, what happened and what's going on in pre-market. But for the most part, I think that we're going to continue in the next few days to see what's going to potentially happen with that. And again, this is affecting the markets. Remember, oil is a big factor. Oil affects a lot of things. So we have to talk about this. We have to take this into consideration. Also tomorrow, the Senate takes up the Save America Act tomorrow. And so remember that President Trump said no Save Act, no Clarity Act. So we're having to see tomorrow if the Save America Act gets voted in, and then we can move to the Clarity Act. So if this gets denied, lower probability that we're going to see the Clarity Act. And again, that could affect the crypto markets as well. And third, tomorrow, we got the SEC Chair Paul Atkins and the CFTC Chair Michael Selig will jointly discuss harmonizing digital assets over at DC Blockchain Summit 2026. So we're going to also have this meeting that's going to be happening. It's going to be a blockchain summit. And so there's the triple whammy tomorrow that could potentially affect the crypto market going forward. Now, does that mean that the price action is going to be huge? That is, of course, depends on how the market processes and reads what's going on and what's happening. Last night there was that headline from the NVIDIA conference there where the CEO said he sees 1 trillion volumes into 2027, right? And then the stock went bananas and then it sold off, right? I can show you. And he went up and then sold off. You'd be like, well, why is it happening? Well, first there was the initial algos that heard what he said and 2 minutes of extreme buying, right? And then the market started processing it and started trying to understand, what does this mean? How is this going to potentially affect the market cap and the price potentially of NVIDIA? And then someone said, I read online that Kramer tweeted out that he's very bullish, and then that's why it started selling up. I mean, could be. And it even ended up closing at a lower level than it started the day. So even with this huge headline, which is huge, right, and could potentially mean amazing things for the company, the price action was what it was, right? And remember, many times today, good news doesn't equal price action to the upside in the short term. Okay. It might mean that when we do break out and we do have a bullish movement, that all of these factors, all of these things help the price stay up higher for longer, potentially. Okay. So that's very, very important to remember. Now, the smartest man in the world, right? I put that in quotations because he claims to have the highest IQ ever recorded. Could be, right? We don't ever record it, so maybe in the past there were smarter people, or it's not smarter, it's high IQ. Okay. And so he's talking about XRP, keeps tweeting out XRP, bull market is here, crypto is starting to break out. And he was actually kind of right, the breakout, because but he's been tweeting for a while that he thought there was going to be a bull market. What's the community note here? um, yeah, he had some wrong predictions previously, and he got right this time. And he's saying XRP will be insane this month. We'll see. There's still a few weeks here for the month. Maybe he's going to be right. Maybe he isn't. Remember, everybody that makes these predictions and throws out these numbers, most of the time they're going to be wrong, and once in a while they'll be right. Right. And so if you keep saying something enough time, you're going to be right. This is interesting. What's going to happen here today? U.S. Treasury to execute historic 15 billion debt buyback. I had to pause for a second. This is what you got to do in war times, right? To remind my son that he has a Zoom class right now. So back to this, a U.S. Treasury largest ever debt repurchase, eclipsing the 14.7 billion from last week, marking an aggressive push to absorb supply and steady bond market conditions. This could also be potentially money coming in to the markets, to treasuries, and maybe this could fuel some of the hype around the crypto market. We'll see. Michael Saylor, where is it? I didn't put it up. Where is it? No, here. Strategy bought another 22,337 Bitcoin for 1.5 billion at the price of 75,969. So they actually bought it at higher levels here than where we are right now. Again, they continue to buy. They don't really care what's happening. Where is it? Where is it? Here. And they already have 761,000 Bitcoin at 57.61 billion value right now. We'll see in the future what is it going to be. He continues to buy, right? They don't care. Strategy continues to buy Bitcoin, and that's their strategy. So maybe that is one of the reasons why. But actually, he bought it high prices here, earlier in the morning. So maybe that was a mistake. Time will tell. Probably people are gonna like what's his name? The gold guy, Peter Schiff, is gonna laugh at him that they bought it high levels, but it is what it is. When you're dollar cost averaging like Michael, you don't really care if you timed it correctly, right? He continues to buy, and he's not trying to buy the dip or buy the lowest price of the day. That's almost impossible to do. You might get lucky one time out of 10,000, right? It's very, very hard to do to get the exact high or the exact low. Okay, so that's important to remember. This was interesting. Remember, Argentina bans Polymarket. Courts have mandated IPs, Google and Apple to remove the prediction market nationwide. Regular classified Polymarkets unlicensed crypto betting systems, becoming the second country in Latin America to fully restrict the platform. This is interesting, Argentina, after that whole situation with their remember the meme coin, the presidential meme coin. So now the courts, this is the courts, not the president, but interesting that that's coming out of Argentina right now. And we talked about MasterCard potential partnerships with Ripple, but I saw this video from them. Can you use crypto to pay for pizza? Yes, crypto cards let you pay like any other card while your digital assets power the transactions and are processed in fiat on the MasterCard network behind the scenes. Of course, they use it to pay for pizza because it's the famous right story of the guy that bought two pizzas, each worth $150,000. I don't know what it would be worth. I don't remember what the amount of Bitcoin was that he used. It could be more today, it could be less. But it's funny that they use pizza buying for the video. And listen, in the future, the question is, will we use cryptocurrency as a currency, right? Will this become more widespread, and not just with stable coins, but with actual crypto assets? It's more happening than it was 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago, but it's still not at levels that theoretically the crypto market needs to become widespread. And it's interesting. And if you do use these kinds of cards, you always have to make sure that you understand the tax liabilities, because how does your government consider this purchase, right? Is it a buying and selling of crypto when you're doing this? So you have to understand, like, how do you have to report this on your tax returns and things like that? So that's important, because some countries see this as fiat, and some people see it as an asset, crypto, right? Even if you're using MasterCard or something like that. So it's very important to understand what are the liabilities around that as well, because some people fall on that, and then they're like, oh, I didn't know, and now I have to pay an accountant, or, well, I don't know, maybe in the future you use AI, but to do to help me with these complicated taxes. And before I didn't maybe need it, or I was using an app, and now I can't use it because I need to report this way or that way. So just make sure you talk with the companies and you understand what the liabilities are. Okay. Don't forget to smash the like button. Check out the links in the description down below. We have the free Telegram group if you're interested in joining that as well. Sometimes I update things that I don't update here on the main channel. So check that out in the description down below. Drop a comment, 8 for infinity and beyond, or call to action here. What do you think the market is going to do today and tomorrow, going to that very important day tomorrow? Let me know. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you next time. And like I always say, let's make a lot of money.